Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to talk about a character you have probably forgotten but who is very cool and with one of the most unique abilities in all of Hunter x Hunter, and that is Meleoron the Chimera Ant. He was a squadron leader in the colony of the Ant Queen, and unlike his other colleagues of the same rank, he wasn't bloodthirsty or eager to hunt humans, but rather with a good nature, friendly, and a condoner of violence. He didn't like violence at all. Meleoron was once a human living in NGL, or the Neo Green Life country, where the Ant Queen first stepped foot and created the army of the ants, which went around creating destruction and consequently slaughtering many people. Thus Meleoron, whose name as a human was Jael, was reborn as a chameleon looking chimera ant. His appearance is quite cool, and just like a chameleon, he can adapt and turn invisible to protect himself from various predators and dangerous situations. But his ability goes beyond anything we've seen before, and it's frankly marvelous and perfect. Meleoron was first introduced when Koala, the chimera ant under Meleoron, was fighting a human, and Koala told the human not to move, which in fact was directed at Meleoron, who was staying invisible behind this guy Koala was fighting, and Koala in reality had noticed him. So this made Meleoron kinda angry, and he scolded him for not taking orders, and he reminded Koala that he is a lower rank and that Koala is hunting people for fun, thus ultimately telling Koala to go to another division if he wants to hunt for enjoyment. Meleoron's Nen was also awakened by Ramot, the chimera ant Killua and Gon fought, and somehow he was able to develop these insane abilities himself, which is pretty amazing. So he figured out how to create these OP abilities all by himself. When King Meren was born, Meleoron was there, and if you remember Peggy, the smart book-loving chimera ant, he was beheaded when he tried to help the queen. And it turns out, after Meleoron's human life memories began to surface, Peggy was in fact his father who had adopted him, and he was a kind person who loved books. So Meleoron made it a mission to actually get revenge on the king for ending his beloved father, Peggy. Meleoron is not strong physically or in combat. He states that he is similar with a regular soldier ant, so in no way, shape or form Meleoron can even injure some of the other chimera ant captains. So basically I think even Koala can actually kill him. So in order to kill Merem, he had to find someone strong to actually deal a decisive attack. He spotted both Gon and Killua when they infiltrated East Gortau, and Meleoron is truly smart and has a good hunch about judging the overall strength of a person. He was able to tell that Killua is strong based on the confident way Killua walked, so he decided to follow Gon instead. Although Killua did somehow notice he was being followed and was wary at all times, even though Meleoron had erased his presence. At this point, after Meleoron had separated from the queen and the king, he still had three ants working for him: the snake, the owl, and the bat, which attacked Gon. Gon defeated the snake pretty easily. However, the owl and the bat did prove a bit challenging, and all this time Meleoron was spectating and trying to see how strong Gon truly was. So Gon was struggling as the bat and the owl were coordinating their attacks, but Meleoron did deduce that Gon had more latent aura overall, but simply lacked the tactic at first. Then when Gon punched the owl and sent him flying, Meleoron started to think Gon might be a suitable candidate to work with to kill the king. He followed Gon, but when they reached the desert, Gon, who had sensed him following, told him to get out and show himself. So Meleoron had already grown tired. He had no stamina anymore. He turns off his ability and he introduces himself to Gon and tells him that he can't let his future partner to die as he is important, meaning Gon, and he asked Gon if he was there to attack the king. Gon lies and tells him no, but Meleoron replies that he has been following him since he was with Killua. Gon was still wary at this point and didn't trust the ant, and got even more angry when he realized he was followed because he was less of a threat than Killua. And here is a funny scene because Meleoron says he wasn't lying and he doesn't want to trick Gon, and Gon instantly says, "Okay, I trust you," while Meleoron is still continuing and contemplating on why it's difficult to trust him, and ultimately he gets shocked on how quick Gon trusted him. Next, Meleoron keeps telling Gon constantly to not trust people that easily because there are many liars, so Gon asks him again if he was lying and he still replies no. Next, Meleoron Meleoron starts doubting to put his mission and life in the hands of Gon, and Gon then states this, that if Meleoron is lying, then he will have no mercy and completely destroy him. This is one of the scenes that show what potential Gon has, as Meleoron stated that he did feel a chill in his bones from the emission of Gon's eyes because they were ice cold, and that Gon's potential is like a bottomless pit. This shows that Meleoron is quite observant, quick-witted, and a good judge of character and potential overall. So Meleoron and Gon are sitting there, then the ant is smoking. Next thing you know, he reveals his ability, and it turns out that Meleoron can not only turn invisible, but he can also hide his presence. So the former is a natural ability, so he outsmarts any enemy who knows his ability by hiding the other secret that he can absolutely hide his presence. Gon is surprised on how and where did Meleoron go. He can smell the cigarettes, but he can't sense him at all. While all this time Meleoron was just sitting there. So Meleoron's ability is called Perfect Plan, and he can erase his entire existence when it's activated, and he can do this as long as he can hold his breath. Truly a unique, splendid ability and very useful for many situations, especially for taking out the king. Gon instantly trusts Meleoron and they agree to take on the king, and when Gon and he shake hands, he activates the ultimate ability of his called God's Accomplice. So now that Gon has touched him, he too can use Perfect Plan and erase his existence. So basically both of them are undetectable from smell, hearing, touch, or even advanced Nen application. And so Meleoron wanted to approach Meruem and deal a final blow with Gon's ultimate attack, John Ken, but Gon thought Knuckle was more suitable than him because he is stronger. Meleoron is an awesome character really. He was moved to tears after seeing Knuckle take care of the dogs, and he trusted him instantly, as before he was suspicious of him. A really good nature, and as Gon stated, he is human first of all. He does not feel like the others, like a beast. He's not like them. Meleoron helped Knuckle attack Yubi and activate the bankruptcy ability. He was an important member of the mission, and there was a good chance that if Dragon Dive had hit them while in the state of being invisible, Nen would have intensified after death and they would have stayed invisible for eternity without the ability ever deactivating, which the hunters did realize. Meleoron was such a cool character. He was so important to the team. He saved Knuckle by calling Killua, and even saved Killua after he attacked Yuppie repeatedly to save Knuckle. Meleoron's ability was certainly marvelous. He was able to hold his breath for 2 minutes or more and stay invisible. Under extreme pressure in the mission, he was able to stay calm. He was able to save many people. He was perceptive, smart, and very honest individual. He was also very truthful. Meleoron, even though he hadn't known the hunters long, developed brotherly feelings for them and was moved to tears when Shoot was getting attacked and was almost dying. Meleoron even tried to save Morel after getting struck by Yuppie's blade, showing what compassion, integrity, and courage Meleoron had. Until the very end, he wanted to take down the king, showing what tremendous determination he had. Ultimately, in the latter parts of the Chimera Ant arc, he was knocked out cold by Meruem. He was spared, and later on he was also seen staying at the hospital with Shoot, and even in the chairman election arc he was with the others beside Gon. Meleoron was not strong physically, but he had the most unique ability in stealth, which was very important to the team and a really tremendous ability. If you enjoy these types of videos, consider subscribing and check out this next video related to Hunter x Hunter. Thank you for watching.